I'm Hugh Hewitt. Welcome back to Hour 3 of the program today. Senator Jon Husted is from the great state of Ohio, where I hail from, but I'm a little unsure if he's grieving over the Guardians' loss of the Tigers, because he's from the far northwest corner of the state. He's a Dayton Flyer, so he went down near the Reds. So he might not care about the Guardians, but he might be one of those Tiger fans who are up there in the northwest corner. What about that, Senator?
Hey, I'm rooting for an Indians-Reds World Series. What are you talking about? That's the dream come true. Although when I was in my formative years, the Tigers were really good winning some World Series. So we got a lot of Tiger stuff up there.
Screwball was really good today. He K'd 14 the Guardians, so it was really wild. Senator, you've served at every level of government, statewide as lieutenant governor, state senate, state house. Now you're a United States senator. Have you ever seen a government shutdown before?
Well, from afar, I've never been in one, because at the state level, we just responsibly performed our duties according to the Constitution. And when we couldn't get the negotiations done in time, we would pass an extension or a continuing resolution at the state level to keep government services going until we got our business done. That's exactly what we're asking the Democrats to do right now. 13 times when Chuck Schumer and the Democrats voted to keep the government open with a continuing resolution during the Biden years, right? So they've done all that. And now that Donald Trump is president, they don't want to do that anymore, which makes no sense in the world. If they want to negotiate something, we'll negotiate, but keep the government open, keep services, law enforcement, the things that people rely on going while we continue to have discussions about anything they want to talk about.
I've called this the Seinfeld shutdown because it's about nothing. And I don't think the Democrats even have talking points yet. They've changed a lot over the last 3 days. It apparently is they just want $1 trillion to spend on people. What is their ask? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's a little unclear, but you're making the point. It's like, seriously, what do you want to talk about? Well, we can keep talking about that, but don't shut the government down to keep talking about it. Because think about this. It's like we're asking for 7 more weeks to continue the appropriations process to fund government. That's the way it's supposed to work. And they're saying they keep throwing things at the wall and saying, we want this, we want that. It's like, fine, we can negotiate that, see if you can get the votes, but you don't have to shut the government down to keep talking. Like, we'll keep talking to you, just don't shut the government down. And they have no plan. What I worry about, though, on behalf of the American people, is that they're going to come to this deadline tonight. That John Fetterman, we have one Democrat who's going to vote. I think other Democrats would like to vote with us. But if they get there and then they shut it down, then they're going to look silly. And then they're going to, if they keep this going, because what are they going to get out of it? Like they're not even sure what they're asking for. And so I'm worried that this could prolong if they go over the cliff tonight and shut it down.
Well, I think it's the least likely. I've said this many times on the program today. Senator Thune is the least like Michael Corleone of any senator in the United States Senate. No offense, Senator, but John Thune's the nicest guy I've ever met in the United States Senate. So he would never say, here's my offer, nothing. But that is, in fact, what the president said and the leader said and the speaker said. There's nothing to negotiate about the extension. Is there? This is a take it or leave it deal. If they want to shut it down, it's going to stay shut down.
There's nothing to negotiate. This is a continuing resolution that funds government at the same levels that they've already voted to do in the past. We're not asking them to take a vote that they haven't taken before. This is just keep the government open. We'll keep talking about anything you want. There's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing to give them. They don't know what they want. The only things that they want are things that they could never have. Like they want Donald Trump to go away and all of us to quit existing. Like that's
or
what they
switch
really
parties. Yeah. I remember when Senator Cruz orchestrated the shutdown over Obamacare, everyone knew it was over Obamacare. When Newt Gingrich did it in '94, everyone knew he wanted to shrink the size of government. No one's ever seen this before. It's an own goal for the soccer fans out there, and every day they keep it shut down, there's an own goal. Do you know, Senator Husted, is there a vote scheduled for today? Or is this an inevitability in 7 hours at shutdown?
No, we're gonna vote tonight. We're gonna give them a chance to not shut the government down. Like everyone's gonna go on record tonight and say, hey, This is what we're going to do. We're all going to vote. I'm going to vote to keep the government open and continue to go through the normal appropriations process and fund the government in a hopefully smarter, more efficient way. But
Now,
tonight's really just about whether we're going to pay our air traffic controllers, our federal law enforcement officials, the men and women of the military. We're going to keep basic services available. The negotiations.
they have to go to work, right? They have to go to work if they're an essential employee. They just don't get
essential
paid.
employees have to go to work. There are a lot of people that won't have to go to work, but those are. You may have a permit pending at some EPA office, right? That's a big deal to you as a business person because you need your permit because time is money. That gets closed down. You don't get that done. I mean, there are people all over the country who will suffer at some level as a result of a government shutdown. We also know it costs money to shut the government down and then reopen it. And it's not fair to the people who are providing services. If you have a real reason to do it, and it's on principle, that's great. Their real reason is that Donald Trump's president, we hate them, we're getting too much pressure from the left wing of our party, and so we have to pretend like we're actually fighting for something.
Now, you've only been there a year. Have you ever had a chance to have dinner with Chuck Schumer? I thought he was a smart guy. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen anyone do. He's walked into a box canyon, and I don't know how he gets out now.
I've not had dinner with Chuck Schumer. I'm a friendly guy, but he hasn't invited me to dinner yet. But and here's the deal: this is about nothing. You're right; it is a Seinfeld shutdown. We call it the Schumer shutdown, the shutdown over nothing, right? And you're absolutely right, Hugh. There's no way out for him. Like he got beaten up. He's scared of AOC running against him in a primary in 2 years. He got beat up by the left-wing groups for doing something that by the way, if you can run the clips of how many times Chuck Schumer has given a floor speech about the stupidity of shutting down government. Like he says it all the time. And then now he's walked himself into this corner. We're at the 11th hour. I'm hopeful 6 or 7 of his colleagues will bail him out by basically saying, hey, I'm not running for re-election again. I'm voting for this. Hey, I represent Virginia or Maryland. Too many people in my communities are disrupted. I'm voting for this. Maybe 6 or 7 Democrats will go along and do that. But right now, he has backed himself into a corner of which there is no way out for him.
Lieutenant Governor Sears, who's my lieutenant governor because I live in Virginia, I vote in Virginia, she began the show today and she said, look, this is great for my campaign. It's bad for the federal employees who live in Virginia because Spanberger is a Democrat and the Democrats are shutting it down. Has anyone like Tim Kaine or Mark Warner made a speech about common sense and not doing this? This really is dumb. There is nothing on the table here. Nothing.
It is for their constituents, particularly if you're a Maryland or a Virginia senator, because you have so many of your citizens who are going to, be inconvenienced at least, have some level of suffering at the most. But it's going to affect people all around the country by services not being rendered or people going without pay. The worrisome thing is that, so let's say that they shut it down and they don't vote with us. And then we come back on Friday after being out for the Jewish holiday. And we say, okay, well, what are you going to do now? There's nothing to give them. Like there's nothing that they're asking for that you could give to them that lets them save face. So I just worry that they might extend this, and create a level of suffering and inconvenience that's completely unnecessary. And by the way, Hugh,
well, I'm
when they
glad
say
we'll
negotiate with us, we'll
for
negotiate.
30 years, I was a government permitting
about.
lawyer. I used to go to the agencies and beg for permits when I was practicing law.
Yes.
And you're right. When the agencies are shut, you can't get anything done. And it is a ridiculous, there's nothing at stake. There's no principled issue here. It's AOC. So welcome to Washington, Senator Husted. I'm sure this is what you signed up for, is to watch the Democrats self-immolate in a gesture of absurdity, the likes of which I haven't seen in 35 years of broadcasting. But you get to be there for this.
Yeah, I'm getting to watch what not to do.
Jon Husted, good to talk to you, Senator. I look forward to that Guards-Reds series. That is the dream. I'm not sure what side you'd be on because you're a Dayton Flyer, But we'll find out if it comes down to that. Thank you, Senator Husted. Don't go anywhere, America. I'm coming right back with Bethany Mandel. She is a Maryland resident, and she is the author of the Mom Wars Substack, themomwars.substack.com. And Maryland really gets screwed by these things. Virginia really gets screwed by these things simply because they don't get paid. Millions of people don't get paid. Federal contractors don't get paid. It's not like everybody's got plenty of savings, all right? This is a Chuck Schumer nightmare because he's afraid of AOC. Hard to believe. Stay tuned.